And we're live. Hello. Excuse me. Hello, friends. How are you? Of course, I had to cough as soon as I came on. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Gina. Good to see you. We'll wait for a few moments for some people to join us, but tonight is another dowsing rod session. So if you have any questions, please put them in. This is just about current events. I feel great. I'm not really coughing anymore. An occasional cough, but I just had a handful of cashews, and so something was stuck in my throat. Feeling great. How are you feeling? Hi, Liz Reeves. We're about to get maybe by the end of the week where we may have our first snow flurry here in Denver. They've had snow in the mountains. Let's see, Daniel, I was thinking we talk a lot about, yes, that's a good question too, Daniel. Yes. And that is a question that I wanted to ask. Well, I have questions, as you know, but please put your questions in too. As many as you want, no limit. So while we wait for a few people to pop in, the notification hasn't gone out yet. How is everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm sorry I've fallen way behind on my gratitude. Not that I'm not grateful, but we're busy. I'm just busy with a lot of things right now. Believe it or not, this is kind of a busy time to start getting summer camps going. I cannot speak. And also we have our son here who we're helping. Well, he's in his last few days. He's leaving on Monday to go to the UK. So just doing the things that we have to do. We're going to have a little mock Thanksgiving over the weekend to celebrate. Let's see. Thank you, Gina. I have a similar question to that, but I will star yours because that's a good one too. When will he leave? All right. Hi, Melody. Hi, Janet DC. Higher Realms. Okay, guys. Looks like a few people are popping in now. If we have questions about current events, please put them in. We're not going to do personal questions tonight, but if you have some, sorry, part of the reason my mouth isn't working is because I went to the dentist today and they numbed me up on the top, but I'm getting my feeling back, but I keep finding that I'm slurring occasionally. So yay, Venezuela. That's a good question. Yes. Feels like the energy is like things hurry up and then they slow down, then they hurry up and they slow down. So I guess I wanted to ask some questions about ICE as well. I know that they are putting them in my notes. I know they've just moved into Raleigh, which is where my sister lives. I'll be curious to hear what she's seeing. They were in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte itself is more of a liberal city, but these are not exactly liberal bastions that they're occupying now. So I don't know why they're doing that. Oh, Liz, let's see. I just found out my daughter isn't planning on coming back to Denver. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. I hope she's moving someplace or staying someplace really cool to visit anyway. I feel your pain. I've got one in New York and one almost in the UK. I have a feeling that one of them might come back, maybe not to Denver. Liz also lives in Denver. I was drooling earlier. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. It was, when you get the bottom numbed up, it's like really kind of whatever. But this was like where I felt like my top lip and it was hard to drink. It's hard to drink without spilling. Yeah. Okay, Janet DC, I got your questions. Yes, everybody's asking similar questions. Is T about to exit? I have these questions. I have a lot of questions, excuse me, concerning the votes that we saw yesterday. So, okay. Tasha, okay. I'm not going to do personal questions today. I'm so sorry. We can do that on Saturday, though. So, have you been to Boulder, Colorado, Melody? That's just up the road from here. It's about 40 minutes away by car. Sorry, Tasha. Maybe if I have extra time at the end, I'll take a few, but that might take me way over time in the end. Hi, Denise. Great to see you. Yeah, so it's beautiful again today, but we're finally going to get a little blast of some fall weather, which I think is, it's high time. I enjoy the nice weather, but it's kind of weird when it stays. I mean, I still have all the trees on the leaves on the tree in front of my house. This is the only house on the block that still has leaves on the tree. I don't know why. It's not an oak tree. It's really weird. Liz says, I don't want him to die before MAGA figures out how rotten he is. Oh, I think they're figuring it out. I do. Okay. Oh, thank you, Denise. Yes, Colorado is beautiful. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a native. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. So you went to a mime and Kabbalah workshop there. Yes. Yeah, they do a lot of, they have a really cool university there called Naropa. It's very a woo university. So I wonder if it was there. Oh, Tasha used to work in Fort Collins. That's where my son went to school. One of my sons. Yeah, Colorado State University. It's all about me tonight. No, thank you for sharing. That's cool. That's good to know. Oh, yeah. Daniel, what's weird here is people keep putting up their Christmas lights earlier and earlier. I would say every block has 3 or 4 houses with Christmas lights up, maybe even more, and have been for weeks, which is really strange. So it's really odd. Okay, Gina asks a good question, and Higher Realms has a question. Guys, put your questions in, and we'll get started with the dowsing rods here in a minute. So those of you who are new, who are joining me and don't know who I am, my name is Kelly Scarborough, the Mystic Next Door. And midweek, I often do a dowsing rod session about current events. So unfortunately, we are not taking personal questions, but we're doing current events. So I want to apologize to all of those who live in other parts of the world who do not know as much about U.S. politics, but I feel like you guys are actually probably pretty you're more well versed, I've found, than a lot of Americans are. So please put your questions, if you have questions about your own regions or countries, pop them in here. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to see if I probably have enough questions to get started. Gina said it snowed a little last week and made you happy. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. We're probably going to get a little snow on like late Thursday into Friday. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. I'm sorry, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, which is, I mean, never. Liz can probably back me up. You live in Colorado too. 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, it never rained this time of year. If it was going to do anything, it would snow. Now, I feel like we never get any snow. All right, CJ, let's see. Guilty, never took down the Christmas lights. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Denise says, Kelly, me too, Kelly, and I just work mowing them up with a beanie hat, and gloves and tissue pockets. Oh, okay. Sorry about your nose. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Gina. Inching forward. All right. Thank you, Melody. I appreciate I always feel like, you folks down under and in Europe, and it is kind of a shit show. So why not watch the circus that's going on here? But you guys know more than we know about your countries, and I do apologize for that because we need to be better about that. Liz says she'd rather have snow. Yeah, me too. I'd rather have snow than rain. And, if you live in Colorado, you understand why. Because it doesn't stay gray forever. It doesn't, the snow doesn't stay on the ground forever here. We get a lot of sunshine, so it'll snow and it typically melts the next day. Okay, so enough chit chat. We're going to go ahead and get started. And I have questions, as you know, and some of you have questions too, and I'll weave them in. And then please, I can't speak today. Please keep throwing your questions in. Excuse me. Oh, Maureen, can everyone please send prayers for my daddy? They just rushed him to the hospital with a cardiac event. Oh, Maureen, we will. We're so sorry about that. Ooh, just got to chill. Wow. I'm so sorry. I hope we have a really good outcome. There's a beautiful light. Oh, right here. Wonder what that's from. It's funny. It's shining on my husband's guitar case right over here. Oh, it's the end of the rainbow. All right, so I have your questions. I'll tell you the categories that I have, and you guys can put your questions in too. I welcome any and all questions, so long as they're current events or, worldwide things, weather, ETs, even spiritual questions. Okay, so I have lots of questions about the Epstein files, of course. I have questions about the indictments of James Comey, AG, Tish James, Adam Schiff, and John Bolton. For those of you who aren't from the U.S. or just aren't up on things, these are considered to be vindictive indictments that Donald Trump has done, and all are challenging it on that basis. Their indictments. And we'll talk about that more. I have questions about MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's been in a war of words with Donald Trump. Yes. Oh, I love this. People are saying, sending a million angels to surround your dad. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Heather, I have that question. Hi, Heather. Heather from Alaska. AI bubble burst. Oh, okay, AI. That's a good one, too. I didn't ask about that. All right. Thank you, Mangled Unicorn. Good to see you. And Brenda. Well, Brenda, nice to see you here. Will Trump leave the planet before the end of the year? I'm going to star that one. We keep asking. I don't know if that's wishful thinking or what, but that's not very nice, is it? Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to, sorry. All right. Send your prayers to Maureen's dad with a cardiac event. I feel like he's going to be okay. Okay. All right. And I got your question, Melody. All right. So my question, I know we're so tired of hearing about the Epstein files, but it's getting good, guys. It's getting good. And so the first question I have, now that they have the Congress has signed the bill and they've sent it over to Trump. Is will the DOJ try to redact everything? Now, remember, sorry, let me give a little demo first for those who haven't seen my dowsing rods in effect. So they look like they're out wide because of the angle of the computer, but they're really not. It's just the way that I'm sitting makes them look like they're. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to lower my camera a little bit. Okay. All right. So, okay. That looks a little bit better, actually. Well, so here's my demo. And I ask my guides and angels to come in and give us answers for our highest good at this time. If you're willing to answer questions, would you please show us a yes? There we go. That's my yes. There, wake up, guys. And please show us a no. Look at that. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to also show you this little demo. Can you please show me the direction of your energy? It always goes right over here. Boy, they're moving slowly tonight, though. Okay. I'm going to ask another question really quickly. Is this a different angel, guide, ancestor moving the rods than previously tonight? That's a yes. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to get into the current events, but if we have time at the end, we'll go ahead and ask who this is. Interesting, because I just felt the energy was different in the rods and they're moving slowly. Oh, you want me to ask who? Okay, I will go ahead. Gina's feeling this is an ascended master. Is this an ascended master that's speaking with us tonight through the dowsing rods? It's a no. Hi, Emerald. We're not taking personal questions tonight, just current events or otherwise, other questions like that. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Is this an archangel that we're speaking with? Hey, we have an archangel tonight, guys. Welcome. Is this, I have a, I'm going to ask about one that I've been thinking about lately. And so, is this Archangel Haniel? No. Is this Archangel Michael? It's Michael. This is the first time I think I've actually tapped into Michael, like with the dowsing rods. Thank you for being here. There's a big, look at that. Wow. Okay, this is fun. Okay, well, thank you for coming to help us answer our questions. And here we go. Okay, let me just ask one more question. Are there other archangels here with us at this time? Yes. Okay. Should we go down the line? Do we have Archangel Gabriel with us tonight? Oh my goodness, we've got the big guns. Thank you. Do we have Raphael with us tonight? Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Higher Realms, for answering Emerald's question. Do we have Uriel? Interesting. Do we have all of the archangels? I know I asked about Haniel, but do we have all of the archangels with us tonight? No? It looks like we've got any other of the big guns that I'm missing? Oh, I'm just getting a chill right now. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Epstein. Let's go to Epstein. All right. Our archangels wanted to help us answer these questions. All right. Are the DOJ going to redact all of the names in the files? That's a yes. I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny. I think we kind of knew this. Will they be in trouble for doing that? Yes, because I feel like eventually is what I'm hearing. But what I'm hearing is that they have to. I saw a podcast that they have to justify all the redactions and actually do a write up and justify them. Will they also try to claim that they have an ongoing lawsuit and can't release the files? Yes. Thank you. Will we see the files eventually? Yes. Will we see the files? Thank you. Boy, they're moving slow. They're just moving differently than usual. Will we see the files before the end of the end of the year? That's a slow no. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Will we see the files in the beginning of 2026? That's a yes. Thank you. Will some of the people who had to redact the material from the DOJ leak any information? There's a yes. It feels like eventually. So remember, guys, in my world, when they bobble a little bit like that and then cross, that's a yes. So there may be some, what I'm seeing is that it might be that some of the folks who were asked to redact names and details, I feel like they will eventually speak. I almost feel like we see them in the press or writing books or something like that. Yes, that's a good question, Higher Realms. Higher Realm says, my pendulum says most people in the US won't fall for their version of the files, right? And that's what I want to ask. I was just going to say, will it work? Will withholding information from the files work? You see this kind of wishy-washy energy? So it's mostly a no, but I think what that means is some will buy it, but I don't think most will. Look, now it's way out there. Okay. All right. Will we have leaks from overseas about the Epstein files? Oh, yes. Look at that. Sorry, I wasn't coughing at all. I'm going to get a little cinnamon candy. Okay. Yeah, Daniel. DOJ will probably obstruct until tea is gone. Okay. Will we have some? I don't know. I kind of doubt this one, but will we have some leaks from Musk? It's kind of a soft no. It looks like a big one from your perspective, but it's really not much. Hi, Ruthie. I think Musk might be in the files, at least have been on the plane or visited or something. Okay. Here's a weird question. Is the information in the documents worse than most of us can imagine? Woo! Yeah. I think so. Is it worldwide? Yes. Aside from the young women, will we also find out about young men who have been victimized? Yes. Have the congressional Republicans realized that this is their opportunity to jump off the Trump train? Yes. Like safety in numbers, I think I'm feeling. Okay. Is there a reason that they voted to release the files? I mean, is the reason because they feared their constituents? Yes. Because the overwhelming sentiment is like 80% of Americans really want to see what's in the files. I think the cat's already out of the bag. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I'm mixing my metaphors. Okay. Or is it also because Trump said it was okay to release or to sign? It's a soft yes. So for some of them, yes. All right. For some, was it that they didn't want to be on the wrong side of history? Yes. Is there fear for fear of reprisal? Yes. So there's a lot of fear of reprisal within Congress. I want to ask about Pam Bondi. Will Attorney General Pam Bondi face repercussions for this? Yes. I'm not asking about timing. Hi, John. Good to see you. Let's see. Will she be indicted one day for obstruction of justice? Whoa. Okay. Look, that took a long time, guys, but it bobbled and bobbled. That means like it's a little ways out, but eventually it looks like odds are. Will Kash Patel face indictment? Yes. Hi, John Scarborough, for being a little late. You're okay. Okay. Will Dan Bongino face indictment? No. He's the assistant to Kash Patel as the head of the FBI assistant. Let's see. How about will Scott Bessent face any trouble for his role in the? It feels to me, look, they try to come together, but it feels to me like, oh man, they're. I feel the energy in them though. Thank you, Ruthie. Yeah, I'll ask about that too. Those of you who are joining or just watching, feel free to put some questions in, and I have a whole list of your questions that I'll get to too. So pop your questions in. So I have a couple more about this. Oh, this is kind of gross, but is former President Bill Clinton the Bubba referred to in the recently released emails? No. Okay. Our higher realms us are bail. Okay. Is Steve Bannon in the files? Is Steve Bannon in the files? Yes. Our archangels are a little slower to answer, aren't they? Thank you. We appreciate your presence. Okay, is Peter Thiel in the files? Yes. To be honest, he's the one I was thinking of when I asked about whether young men are in the files. And is Elon Musk in the files? Yeah, it's kind of a soft cross, like a little bit. I did enjoy. Oh, were you asking me about my morning coffee or somebody else's? Okay. If you don't know who Bubba is, you may or may not want to look it up. It's kind of gross. It's in those emails that were recently released by the Epstein family. Okay, or estate. Will the oversight committee get the financial information that they requested from the Epstein estate. Eventually, and these are all sort of taking a while. So I guess that some of these questions that have a timing element, I'm guessing that we will eventually learn about these things, or they'll come out or whatever. Was Epstein a double agent? That's a yes. Okay. Or, I don't know, kind of like a connector between countries. Okay. Higher realms. Bubby means little, from what I heard. Oh, I hear another. Sorry, another live stream is starting. I'll bounce over there in a minute. Okay. And last question is this a turning point for the Trump administration? Yes. That was very clear. There we go. Yes. Okay. I think Bubba in the US, that's kind of a derivation of the word brother. Like little brother might call their big brother Bubba because they can't say the word, but I don't know. Okay. Let me see if you have any of these questions. All right, Daniel had asked, I was thinking, let's see, we talk a lot about T's impending exit. When do we see Putin dropping away? Okay. Let me ask it a different way. All right. So, will Putin exit before Donald Trump? Let's say exit the world stage, and that means anything. Will Vladimir Putin exit the world stage before Donald Trump? That's a no. Okay. But it was a kind of a wishy-washy no. A lot of these answers are very wobbly. Okay. All right. Oh, Celtic Tarot Sheila was crying. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I'll have to check that out. Okay. All right. So now I want to ask some. Let me make sure that I have some of your other questions. So thank you for that question, Daniel. I don't know if I really answered it, but I'm not sure if we have answers to when he's leaving. Okay. Well, we'll ask it here with Gina's question, I guess. We'll say, okay. How about, will 45 leave the presidency before the end of 2025? These are really slow to answer today. Isn't that funny? That was a yes. I thought it was going to go into a no. Okay. Will he leave because of scandal? Yes. Will he say he's leaving for other reasons? I'm getting a no. I always thought that he would do that. Will JD Vance and crew remove 45? Look, guys. So perhaps what is that amendment that they can use? Or whatever that is, something that it says you can remove a president who is not sound of mind or body. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me see if we have any other quick T questions, Trump questions. Melody, you asked a similar question. I would say, yes, he's about to exit. Higher realms. Oh, okay. Let me answer this one. Did I answer? Okay. If the files are released, will they be scrubbed of any mention about Republicans? Okay. If they are released, they be scrubbed of all Republican names? Golly, look, these things do not want to answer tonight, guys. Will they be scrubbed of some Republican names? That's a yes. Okay. Will they be scrubbed of Cheeto's name? Yes. But somebody else, I can't remember who it was, asked. I think the American people are onto their shenanigans. And I have your other questions starred here. So don't be I'm just looking to see what's relevant to the questions I've been asking. And Brenda asked if we would leave the planet before the end of the year. Different question. Will Cheeto leave the planet before the end of the year? I'm just getting these are so wishy-washy today. And so that's a no. So, but I feel like there could be a health crisis or something along those lines. It might not be the final exit, if you know what I mean. Okay. And I've got your questions about science and metaphysics and all. And Ruthie, I have your question on 3i Atlas, and I have a number of other questions. So I think I've got you. Okay, Melanie asked, will he escape to the Middle East? Woo. Well, see, I kind of think that might be part of the reason about MBS's visit from Saudi Arabia. He was here in the U.S. yesterday. Okay, will Donald Trump try to escape to the Middle East? Yes, yes, and yes. Let me ask this question. Will he be successful in escaping to the Middle East? Yes. Wow. You'd think that they'd have eyes on him, right? Yeah. Yes, higher realms. That was the plan all along. You're talking about, 25th Amendment, Daniel. Thank you. When I said, will Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance and all their cronies try to use the 25th Amendment against Donald Trump to have him removed? Yes, that I do believe that too. And if you look at J.D. Vance's history, he hasn't really done a whole lot of importance, or at least warranted some of the offices that he's held. He's just been kind of pushed up the chain by Peter Thiel mostly to get into position. Oh, she's emotional. Okay, so Sheila is emotional because of the things that ICE is doing. Yes, and I did say at the beginning of this, my sister Heather, Heather, are you here? My other sister, she lives in Raleigh, and ICE has just descended upon Raleigh, which is pretty funny because usually they go to liberal cities. It's not the most liberal. Janet, thank you. Will the women's list of names come out? Oh, I asked about everybody else but the women. Will the women release the names? That's a yes. That's a yes. Okay. All right. So, right. Okay. Mangled Unicorn. I bet JD wants to get, whoops. Sorry. So I had a bad image in my mind. I had to remove that and get into position for Peter. Oh, naughty. Naughty. Okay. All right. So I had some questions, guys. The other thing that's been in the news is that, so we were talking about James Comey, AG Tish James, Adam Schiff, and John Bolton, and they've all been under indictment by the Trump administration. James Comey was the former, check me, head of the FBI. If I'm wrong, correct me. And Tish James was the Attorney General from New York who has indicted Trump for his business practices. Adam Schiff, he just doesn't like him because Adam Schiff came up against him in court during the impeachments. And John Bolton was in Trump's first administration and wrote a book about some of his things. So if you're not familiar, so there you go. So my questions are, and right now, yes, FBI director, thank you, Comey. John would know. John Scarborough's father was an FBI agent. It's really fun having a father-in-law for an FBI agent, as an FBI agent. Not. He said very few words at the dinner table. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing up these questions is James Comey's case is before the kind of coming up before the court now, and there have been some. Well, let's just put it this way: there's been some impropriety. So, and the judge is questioning whether they did the right thing. Okay, so James Comey's defense is that this was what do they call it? Vindictive prosecution. Okay, so will the Trump administration's case against James Comey be dismissed? Will it be dismissed? That's a yes. Okay. Will it be dismissed for vindictive prosecution? Look, they say that's a tough one to show. So that's a yes. Oh, John, stop. Let's see. Will his case be dismissed because of the irregularities with the grand jury? Oh, that's a bigger yes. Okay. Very, very interesting. So yes, so apparently the attorney for that case, who was just named by Trump, and she's highly unqualified. She's like an insurance attorney. She's never really had experience doing in litigation and doesn't have any businesses. The U.S. attorney for this, it's the Eastern District of, well, wait a minute, Eastern Virginia. I don't know what it is. Something for Eastern Virginia. Anyway, and she has really mucked up this case. But John said, but she's pretty. Yeah, she was a beauty queen. Exactly. So she deserves that role. Right. So I'm going to ask next about, it looks like she's kind of royally effed up the case. So it might get thrown out. Okay. Same. Will Tish James' case be dismissed? Yes. Will Adam Schiff's case be dismissed? That's a yes as well. It's a little, not quite as robust a yes. And will John Bolton's case be dismissed? Look at this one. Eventually. Let me ask it this way. Will he win his case? Okay. So it looks like his might go to court, but yeah. Emolument. How do I say that word? Emoluments clause. Okay. Oh, that's my next question. Will Lindsay Halligan I'm going to ask a series of questions. Will she be fired for her misconduct? Woo, big yes. Look at that one. Will she be disbarred will she lose her law license? Woo, yes, she will. So apparently what she did, to get the case before court, they had seated a grand jury, and she presented just some really shoddy evidence that made it sound like Comey had done some things that they're claiming. They said that they were trying to present a case that he lied before Congress, but she neglected to present the indictment or whatever, that the indictment that he was that they gave him to start this case. So and some other things. There were it was some really, really, really messy legal work, really bad legal work. So Mangled Unicorn says, I mean, she may get some jail time. Yeah, what she did. Shall we ask? Will Lindsay Halligan spend some time in jail? Oh, whoa, that was fast. Good question. Yeah, the grand jury did not hear the whole thing before it was signed. Right. Very, very, very illegal. I mean, I don't know why these people keep doing these illegal things for Donald Trump, and they all wind up in trouble in the end. That's a good question, because they're being very cagey on the answers. Gina asks, are the AAs, the archangels, trying to protect us? Are they trying to protect us for not sharing some answers? They're doing the same thing, Gina. Is it that we shouldn't want to know these answers? We shouldn't want to know these questions. Yeah, I guess they feel like maybe we're a little hyper fixated. Is that it? Are we a little bit too? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Craggy Poo. I like that, Mangled Unicorn. Hi, Craig. Okay. All right. So there we go for the those indictments. I have some questions about MTG. Does anybody else have questions about MTG? That's Marjorie Taylor Greene for the uninitiated. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been in a battle of words or tweets with DT, and he's been saying mean things about her, and she's been saying things back. So I'm just curious why she, first of all, decided that she was going to demand the documents, the Epstein documents, and support the women. So did she do it for political expediency? In other words, to get reelected? That's a yes. And it went slowly, because I'm feeling like at first, yes, but I think she's seen and heard some things. Okay. Did she have a change of heart about this, about Trump? Oh, that's a big one. Oh my gosh. Maybe she grew a heart like the Grinch. Or did she just see the writing on the wall and want to get ahead of the matter? It's kind of a little of all of it. This one isn't as, the change of heart was the biggest one, which shocks me. Fatima asks, should we trust Marjorie Taylor Greene with what she says? Should we trust her? Look, it's just kind of coming close. I feel like some of the things she's saying she believes, but I kind of feel like she goes where she thinks she's going to be. I don't know. I think she wants attention or something. Yes, Mr. Beek says the level of corruption in the U.S. and other parts of the world right now is absolutely disgusting, irritating, and heartbreaking. You got that right. I wondered the same thing, because we saw her and Boebert, and I can see her face. The other one, Mace. 3 women who were a little outspoken, kind of outrageously outspoken. I wondered if all 3 of them had faced. So, did Marjorie Taylor Greene face abuse as a child or as a young girl? Look, that's a yes. Okay. Did Mace face abuse? I think she admitted to having had a rape experience. Yes. Oh, that's weird. Felt something on my arm. Lauren Boebert. Yes. Well, it's unfortunately a lot more common than we would like to admit. Amanda says, I wish to retract my Juan's response that MTG is sincere. I read on a body language expert's opinion. She is not truly sorry for her past behavior. I know. I mean, I just think I think some of the things she's seen, she's starting to be like, oh, but I think mostly it's for her own benefit. It's to try to get reelected. Higher Realms asks, will MTG start a new party called America First? No. Will MTG start a new party, any new party? That's kind of closer. Will there be a newly formed Republican Party? That's a yes. Okay. And will MTG and others join this new party? A slow yes. Okay. Yeah, I think Denise, you're right. I think for political reasons, and she had a taste of the other side. Yeah, and so this was just another one of the questions that I had. Did she learn something about Trump in the Epstein files? Did she learn something about Trump in the Epstein files? Oh, yes. She knows some things. Oh, it's a big yes. Okay. Was she threatened by Donald Trump and his goons? Ooh, guys, look at that. Because remember, she tweeted out something like, if anything happens to me, I'm not suicidal. So something happened. And she did it like shortly after Charlie Kirk was shot. Boy, we live in a really lovely society right now, don't we? Hi, Edward Kenneth. Good to see you. I'm going to say hi to some people and see if I'm missing any questions. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, everyone, for the thumbs up. Okay. Hurt people. Right. You're right. Yes. And I would say most of the people that I work with in my healing have had some kind of abuse or neglect or something from childhood. Let me just make sure I'm not. Craig says MTG flipped because they never really accepted her. I think that's part of it too. I think she started, she was in the mix early on when Trump was running, and then they ejected her. Daniel says Musk was trying to start a third party, wasn't he? Yes. Yeah. Is that the America First party? I don't know if that's going to be successful. Yes. Denise says, with MTG, it's all political. It's really just for personal gain and political, right? So, good question. Higher Realms. And hi, Mary Sunshine. Okay. Was MTG the DC bomber? Looky here. That was a yes. Thank you. Thank you, all the angels, all the archangels. We've got the big leagues here tonight. Okay. And I do feel like she wants revenge, like Craig was just saying. All right. Can we ask? I know we had a few questions here. Let me just make sure Gina asks, and we talked about this a little bit the last time. Are we going to war with Venezuela? Are we going to war with Venezuela? You see how it's like it hasn't been decided yet. Like, look at this. It's almost like we get close and then it backs off. Will we have any military skirmishes between Venezuela and the US? Yes. So we will have a little bit of action. Will we declare war? No. Okay. Yeah. And I mentioned to some of you, I know a family whose daughter-in-law, my good friend from college, her daughter-in-law she's like third in command in the Navy. And they just pushed out, or shoved off, whatever the word is, for the Caribbean last week, and there are a lot of them who aren't happy about it. In fact, some are going to seek legal counsel to find out what their recourse is if they feel like they're being asked to carry out unlawful actions. So Craig says Trump didn't like MTG's 3 toes and Popeye arms. Yeah, she didn't really fit the Mar-a-Lago face mold, did she? Okay, Amanda, they might go to war with us. Can you blame them? Well, I do think that there may be some shots fired. Okay. Good question. And I was going to ask some questions about the Saudi visit now. So we had the Saudi Prince MBS visit the White House yesterday. And so Mary Sunshine asked, did F-47 make a secret deal with the Saudi clown prince? Yes. That was one of my questions. So thank you. Is he trying to do personal financial deals with, look at this, big old yes. Is he laundering money? Yes. I think Trump helps to launder other people's money for cash payment. Okay. Did Trump, this is a funny question. Did Trump want the whole White House gilded to impress MBS? Yes. Hey, if it has to do with Donald Trump, it's 2 things. It's 3 things. It's about money. It's about staying out of jail or out of trouble. Or it's about women, right? Good question. Yeah. Is this a secret deal that he made so that he can move to Saudi Arabia? Ding, ding, ding. That's a yes. Okay. Yeah. And it's interesting because I'm seeing a plane and I don't necessarily feel like it's the Qatari jet, but it could be. But I feel like it's almost as if MBS sends a plane or something like that. Yeah, Mr. Beek says, surprise, Saudi Arabia never faced consequences for their connection to 9/11. And we're surprised that we would welcome him into the White House, right? The intel said he's a murderer. Okay. Trump's fake gold painted on plastic dollar store markdowns. Yeah. Yep. They say I've seen videos that show that you can buy some of these like appliques and plaques and things at Home Depot, and they are plastic. Oh gosh. Okay. Yep. All right. Good question, Melody. All right. I'm going to go on to the economy, and we have, let me ask this one really quickly. Janet DC asked this question. And the question is, I saw Jack Smith on only one channel saying he would indict Cheeto, DJT, as soon as he's out of office. Is this true? Does Jack Smith plan to indict DJT before, like it's crossing even before I finish, as soon as he's out of office? Yeah. That's why he's going to try to escape. He knows. I mean, that was his whole reason for trying to run again. He knows he's done some, some illegal things, and they've already got him on a few other things. Okay, thank you for that question too. And this is a quick one I'll ask for Gina about Governor Lamont in Connecticut. And I don't know anything about this, so we'll see. Will Governor Lamont in Connecticut veto HB 8002? Yes. This is a bill that will create zoning chaos. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really seen him, but I've heard that Jack Smith has been kicking around. Okay. Economy. And Heather asked a question, and I'll look at that too. Can we expect? Well, let's see what Heather's question was really quickly. Okay. I have one similar to this. Do you see a stock market crash? Do I see a stock market crash? That's a yes. It's not a massive one, but I do see it falling. Can we expect a banking crisis in the next few months? That's a yes as well. So, did you see the lights blink? That was weird. Banking crisis. Okay, that was a yes, guys. Let me just ask this question. Should everyone have some cash on hand? Look at that. That's a yes. Yes, somebody said Liberace is appalled. Al Gotti. Yes. Okay, will unemployment continue to rise? It's kind of a slight yes and a bubble to get there, right? A little slow walk to get there. So it will continue to rise a little bit. Will it stay high all of 2026? No. At least here in the US. Will the unemployment figures reverse in the first quarter of 2026? Not the first quarter. In the second quarter of 2026. A little bit, yeah. There you go. Second quarter, we might see some things turning around. Good question. Will the stock market... Well, before I ask this question, will it be a true crash? Will the stock market truly crash? Well, that's a yes, guys. So if you've got positions in stocks or money in stocks, use caution and talk to your own your financial folks. Okay. Will the stock crash be short-lived? Will the crash be short-lived? That's a yes, a sort of a yes. You see, it's just barely crossing at the tips. Okay. I wanted to ask about homelessness. Will homelessness continue to rise in the United States? That's a yes, unfortunately. Will this trend reverse in 2026? Yes. I feel like it's maybe even later year. Okay, Melody asks, oh, here's a good question from Mr. Beeks, and then I'll ask your question, Melody. Will food prices, I think they will come down, but let's ask, will they come down in the next 3 months? Will food prices come down to affordable levels in the next 3 months? No. Will food prices come down in the next 6 months? No. Will they come down by the end of 2026? They look very wide, guys, but I wish you could see they're not as wide. They're kind of half open. So I feel like they're going to be less bad, but not. Oh my gosh. Will we head? Are you asking if this will be a depression? Will this be considered a depression? Oh my gosh. I was really not expecting that answer, guys. It's a small yes. Is it? Oh. Oh. I don't even want to finish this line of questioning. It's scary. Okay. All right. I'm going to change the subject. La la la. Okay. If I don't ask the question, it won't happen, right? Melody, while we're going down this dark road, will there be 3 days of darkness soon in the form of electricity outage? Yes. Interesting. I wasn't sure what to expect there. 3 days of darkness. If anybody ever watches Sterling, Psychic Medium, I think some of you do. He doesn't think there will be 3 days of darkness. Edward says, it will take a while for the tariff nonsense to reverse. I agree with you. I think that's exactly right. So we've kind of made our bed and we have to lie in it for a while. Janet DC, is all this not so great news so the Trumpers can finally turn away from him? Yes. Is this bad news so that the Trumpers can finally see I don't have to finish. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I just want to ask this question. Are the difficulties we're going through ultimately for our highest good? Yes. And I do feel like I feel like every time we have a problem, it just shows the cracks in our system. So in the US, we have big problems with healthcare, and a lot of people are about to, be priced out of their healthcare. And so it's just going to show that. It's going to reveal that problem that needs correction. Oh, good question, Mary Starshine. Will Cheeto, I think I'm going to call him Cheeto from now on. Will Cheeto send out checks as he said he would? So $2,000 checks per person. Will he send out 2,000? No. And I just heard he won't be there long enough. I don't think he will. Okay. What was this? Star King is mistaken. What was that? Oh, hi, Jackie. Thank you. I love it too. They're getting a little more chatty. Okay. Do we have any? I'm going to answer a couple more of these questions that I starred earlier as we're going through. And I know we have a couple. We have one about 3i Atlas, which we haven't talked about since it sort of passed through. Okay. Will science see the metaphysical purpose of 3i Atlas? There's another question about it too. Will science see a metaphysical purpose? No. I think the way that we're asking it is, will scientists come around? Is there a metaphysical purpose to 3i Atlas? Yes. Will scientists recognize that metaphysical purpose? No. Not yet. Sorry. Everyone, Janet DC, everyone is thinking, can I keep my job and my home? Well, I would say the way that I'm feeling is just be prudent, keep food on hand, keep, do the thing. I don't really think it's going to be as bad as some people think it's going to be, but I think we kind of have to keep our heads down and be responsible with our resources. And I think I also feel like this is an opportunity, and we've been seeing this with the food stamps and things, SNAP and food insecurity, this is an opportunity for humanity to remember the important things and to look out for one another. Okay. Oh, really? Mary Starshine says, if you have a telescope, you can see 3i Atlas when it passes by Earth. I think it's on December 19th. Okay, Ruthie asked also about 3i Atlas, and it took me a while to get here, so sorry. I feel like I've been hearing people call it third eye Atlas, right? Third eye, like this. Our center of intuition, our center of knowing. And it refers to lifting the earth. Do you feel like it's a sentient rock, or things being on it? Okay. Yeah, I have thought it was sentient, and I've gotten a yes before that, right? Before. Okay. So Ruthie asked, let's just ask, is 3i Atlas sentient? Yes. Are there beings on it? It's a wimpy little yes, though, right? Yes. Yeah, Liz says, eat your leftovers. Don't be wasteful, right? Okay, what does this say? All the outer planets are in new signs: Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. This is part of the divine plan of ascension and raising of our vibrations. Yes. All of them will leave their retrogrades and move into their next signs by the first half of next year, one by one. All right. And we have had them, like Uranus is moving into Gemini. Yes. But right now it's tipped back into Taurus. Pluto's already made its ascent into Aquarius. Neptune and Saturn are about to move into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, right? This is where Saturn, which is about responsibility and things that are long lasting and take hold, meets Neptune, which is about intuition and spirituality, meet in the first sign of the zodiac. Yeah. Good. Thank you for putting that there. Okay. Good night, Denise. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on to chat with us. Hi, Joyful Journey. Good to see you. Saturn, retro Saturn is going direct now. Yeah. Isn't it? Oh, it might be this week, right? I can't recall. Okay. Gina, I like what you say. I am manifesting the following. Only good lies before us now. Yes, I like that. There is advanced tech on 3i Atlas, says Mary Starshine, can be monitored from elsewhere. Yeah, and it has had some very unusual things. I mean, they've had like unusual gas signatures, metals. It's had some subtle course changes, some other things too. So, it's not done with us just because it had its perihelion with the sun recently. It's still in our solar system. Hi, Ness. How are you? Everybody check out Ness. She's a great guest on some channels. One day I'm going to get her on my channel. Maybe she'll do our Taroscopes one night with us, right? Please, Ness. We had a date set, and then the Linda effect took hold. I was supposed to be on Linda's channel, by the way, in the beginning of December, and I haven't heard. She I don't know if she got sick or she went away. We'll figure it out. Oh, Louise Hay used to say that. Affirmation. I like it. Okay. All right. And Ness has some really great, you can put if you want to put your link in there, some really good classes and some fun astrological things for 2026 if you guys want to check those out. Okay. I only have a couple more questions. Or does anybody else have any more questions? Really quickly. Okay. I have just a few more questions. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. Yes, 2026 calendar. So you can know what's coming up for you. All right. I just wanted to ask a quick question about the war in Ukraine. Will the war in Ukraine end before the end of the year? It already knew that what I was gonna say. We gotta know. Will it end in the next 3 months? Look at this. Close. It's coming to a close. Will it end in the next 6 months? That's a yes. It's almost like I felt like somebody was pushing them. Okay. Look. And it's just they don't even want to go back. So they're going to end it's going to end in the next 6 months. Thank God. I mean, will Ukraine have to give up some land? Yes, unfortunately, to bring this war to an end. Okay. Here's a question from Mary Starshine. Oh, wait, I'm going to ask about this one really quickly. I just asked that. Okay. Yes, they will have to give up some land. Mary Starshine said, I heard Deepak Chopra was implicated in the Epstein files. Is it true? I'm going to ask the question, was he... I know that he was chatting. He was chatting in the emails. Let's ask this question. Did Deepak Chopra, I am not speaking very well. Did Deepak Chopra go to Epstein Island? Ever go to Epstein Island? That's a no. Did he go to Epstein's home in New York? Yes. Did he engage in any illegal or unethical behavior? Well, I like that. That's a no. I guess time will tell, right? We'll have to come back and check ourselves. Will he be in trouble for some of those emails that come up? Yes, he'll face a little bit of scrutiny. Yeah. Gina asks, will 2026 be better than 2025 for us? Will 2026 be better than 2025 for us? How about for the collective? For the collective. That's a yes. Okay. There was another question I wanted to ask, but Melody asks, is the term Buchemoria referring to the future Earth? I've never heard that before. Is Buchemoria future Earth? My light flickered again. It's kind of like, do you see this? It's like, yes, no, yes, no. It kind of crosses and, wow, that's weird. New Lemuria. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. New. No wonder it was bobbling. Okay. Does will future Earth be called New Lemuria? Hey, look at that. Thank you. I didn't think it was Bucamaria. That's funny. It's okay. We all have typos. Janet DC says, I heard that Epstein tried to make friends with truly good people to make himself look better. Did he? Well, I think everything he did was to try to get people into compromising situations. Did Epstein use good people for his own benefit? That's a slight yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Well, listen, we're going on an hour here, and I'm going to go and figure out dinner. And I really do appreciate everybody's help with these questions. Let's all keep our vibrations high. I find myself, I don't know if anybody else, I find myself, and I tend to be I think I'm a pretty positive person, but I have my moments with all this crazy energy. I have my moments, it feels heavy. And I think that's kind of the goal of whoever the dark forces are that are really kind of trying to get us to wake up. But our job right now is to hold the light, to be light workers, to hold space for one another. And J. Edgar Hoover did that too, Karen. Well, that's why he might be a double agent or a spy or some kind of operative. Epstein. All right. Thank you all so much. And I love seeing you here. I love you. Bye-bye. Thank you.